Welcome back, chosen being. Take a slow breath and let these words settle in your chest. There is a door in your life right now, perhaps unseen, perhaps obvious, that makes your palms sweat when you think of it, that tightens your throat when you imagine opening it. It might be a dream you've wanted for years, a change you've feared, a conversation you keep postponing, or a path that asks you to leave everything familiar behind. You feel its pull and its fear at the same time. That door is not a threat, it is an invitation. The door that scared you is the one meant for you. You have learned to recognize two kinds of doors. The small ones, easy decisions, things you already know how to do. They feel comfortable, they keep you safe. Then there are the wide, tall doors, the ones that make your heart race. They ask something different of you. They ask you to grow. They ask you to become someone bigger than your old story. Remember the time you wanted to speak up but didn't? The job you knew would demand everything you had, and you told yourself it wasn't the right moment? The relationship you quietly left because every conversation felt like shrinking yourself? Each time you walked away from the doors that asked more of you, you stayed smaller. Not because you were weak, but because your soul needed space to prepare. And when that moment arrives, when you stand before the door that truly meant for you, the fear is natural. Fear is the sound your soul makes when it knows the old you is about to fall away. Fear is the signal that the threshold will transform you. Think of a personal moment that might be familiar. Maybe you once considered starting something new, a business, a course, a move to a city that sounded scary and glorious at once. You waited for perfect timing, for a sign, for courage. Meanwhile, life kept offering small substitutes, temporary comforts, familiar routines, people who applauded your plans but never showed up when the work began. The fear kept whispering reasons to delay. And then one day, something shifted inside. A grief that closed the chapter, a door that shut behind you, leaving only the one in front that felt impossible. You walked through it, not because fear vanished, but because you remembered why you started dreaming in the first place. Here's a story you might relate to. There was someone who clung to a secure role for years, telling herself she wanted stability. Deep down, her soul kept nudging her toward creative work she had been sketching in secret for a decade. The thought of leaving the comfort of a steady paycheck felt like a plunge into an abyss. But then life moved in ways she could not control. A contract ended. A relationship dissolved. Silence came where noise had been. That was the door closing behind her. It felt terrifying. When she finally stepped toward the door she feared, the one that led to her art, to showing her voice, the first weeks were raw. She doubted. She failed publicly. She felt exposed. And then, quietly, people who needed her work found her. Those first small lights became steady beacons, and she realized the fear had been the doorway to a life that fit her soul. You are allowed to be scared. Being scared does not mean you aren't chosen for that path. In fact, the things that make you tremble often signal the edges of your real calling. The deepest growth grows in the soil of discomfort. Fear also asks something of you, to examine your motives. Are you holding back because you love comfort? Or are you holding back because stepping forward requires shedding identities you've clung to, the identity of safe, stable, or small? You might be holding the role of the person everyone counts on, and the new door asks you to be the person you count on. That shift hurts because it asks you to change how others see you. But your destiny values one thing above all: your truth. There will be signs that point to the door meant for you. Pay attention to how your body responds when you imagine the path on the other side. Does your chest clench and your eyes water? Do small synchronicities begin to appear? A book that answers a question, a conversation that opens your mind, a person who drops a name that echoes your own dream? Those are not coincidences. They are confirmations. One simple example: you may start seeing the same phrase over and over, in conversations, in posts, in lyrics. It keeps showing up because the universe is trying to help you find the key to that door. Another sign is the sudden removal of something that used to make you feel stuck. A job offer that disappears, a friendship that cools, a project that fails. These losses may sting, but they free you to approach the door unburdened. The space you feared is now available. When you stand before that door, preparation matters. Preparation is not always external. Sometimes it is learning to rest, to listen, to forgive. Sometimes it is learning the craft of your calling. Sometimes it is simple surrender, practicing small acts of courage until courage becomes your default. You might practice by saying a truth out loud to one trusted person. You might rehearse a bold step in private. Small acts of bravery are the keys you collect before you fit the final key into the lock. You will also face resistance from others. People who love the old you may panic when you change. That's normal. Love sometimes fears transformation because it doesn't know it at first. But the right people will adjust. The people who are meant to stay will be inspired by the new door you enter and will rejoice. The rest will teach you the painful but essential lesson. Not everyone can walk with you into higher territory. Think of the seasons of nature. The tree that grows strongest is the one that endures storms, freezes, drought, and then still blooms. The door you fear is your storm. You must bend, not break. You must allow the pruning to happen so new branches have space to grow. Your life will not be less because you pass through that door. It will be truer, deeper, and more aligned with what the divine intended for you. I know this is hard because I've seen it in lives I have walked with and in the quiet places inside many hearts. One woman I know lived in the shadow of a partnership that applauded her, but never matched her dream. The thought of leaving felt catastrophic. Her home, her routine, the identity she shared with someone else. The door she feared was a move to a different country for a small teaching opportunity. When she finally left, she cried in the airport like she was losing everything. Months later, she stood before a classroom where students listened to her like she had finally found a room made for her voice. Her anxiety didn't vanish, but she had crossed the threshold into a life that returned her to herself. Another example, a man who had always defined himself by work found himself exhausted and empty. The door was not a job offer, but a permission to rest, to create music late at night, to invest in relationships he had neglected. The first steps felt irresponsible to the voice that had always measured worth by productivity. But when he allowed himself to open that door, people he hadn't spoken to in years sent messages of gratitude. Small opportunities came because his energy was no longer scattered. His life grew richer not because he chased, but because he allowed. So how do you move from fear to action? Here's a simple practice you can start today. Write down that one door. Name it. Feel the fear fully. Then ask this: if I step through, what is the smallest first thing I can do? Break it into tiny steps. Take one micro-action. It may feel insignificant. That's okay. Micro-actions gather into momentum. Momentum creates courage. Courage creates movement. Movement creates the new you. Understand something essential. The universe does not ask you to step into a door that will destroy you. Sometimes it will close doors for you, so you cannot go back to the path that is not yours. Other times it will open doors that require you to rise, not to prove, but to receive. Either way, the divine moves with a gentle firmness. Trust that. If you feel the pull toward a door today and your heart trembles, you are not alone. If listening to this has stirred something inside you, consider subscribing so you are reminded on the days when fear speaks louder than faith. You deserve gentle reminders while you become stronger. As you step toward the door, remember to carry mercy for yourself and for those who cannot follow. Forgive your past hesitations. They were necessary chapters. Forgive those who scared you away or who could not hold your new pace. Healing the chapters before you cross will clear space to receive what is on the other side. And when you finally walk through, expect the unexpected. Blessings often arrive in forms you wouldn't have designed for yourself. Someone may show up with the exact help you needed. A small idea may blossom into a livelihood. Or your inner life may simply feel lighter and clearer. Growth rarely looks like the grand film moment. It usually looks like steadier breathing, a quieter mind, and a renewed appetite for life. If you want to surround yourself with reminders as you walk through your door, visit chosenbeing.com to find meaningful pieces designed to anchor your new identity. These reminders are not talismans. They are signals you wear to keep your intentions clear when doubt tries to cloud your mind. Before I close, here is another small practical ritual. Each morning for 7 days, stand at the threshold of that door, even if it is symbolic, and say aloud, "I am ready to receive what this door offers me." Speak it with conviction. Watch how your body begins to agree. Watch how small opportunities gather like friends at a table. You are not a mistake. Your trembling is not a failure. The door that scares you is not a danger. It is a design. Step through with curiosity, with respect for your pace, and with relentless trust that God, the universe, or whatever divine name you carry, is guiding your feet. This is your season of becoming. The thing that scared you was not the enemy. It was the announcement. Walk through it, chosen being. The life that has been waiting for you already leans toward the light you are about to bring. You were chosen for this moment. Go.